So, Gaffer, a well-earned point at the end. Tough game here today. What are your initial thoughts after the game?
Listen, I think a point was the least we deserved. I thought we were the better side for the first 40 minutes of the first half. I think Stirling scored with their first shot and goal, which was disappointing. But to be fair to Stirling, they came into it just before 5-10 minutes before they scored the goal. But I thought we were dominant in the first 35-40 minutes of the first half. Scored a good goal, probably could have one or two more. And then second half, I thought Stirling started better than us. I thought they were on the front foot, and then we changed it about halfway through the second half. And I thought the change in the personnel and the shape helped us, and I thought we finished the game stronger. And probably a draw away from home was the least we deserved, I thought.
And that must be ideal as you as a manager. You bring on the sub and his first touch scored the equaliser there when you brought Van Walker on.
It's something we've been thinking about with the shape, with the players that we've now got at our disposal. So we asked Gordon to go and play high as a wing back, and the one thing that Gordon is, he's aggressive and coming in the back post, and it worked really, really well. In terms of, I thought Gordon, I actually said that to him there, I thought he did very well. His reaction to coming out the team, which you might feel a wee bit unlucky, but I think he came in today and did really well. So it was a great reaction for him, and it's a great goal, great team goal, and delighted with him.
And Scott Harriman got the first. He's popping up with a few. Are you delighted, obviously, with the form he's been showing coming in?
I'm delighted with them all, Jack. I've said this, I've just said that to them, and there's only one team in this league with more points than us in the first quarter. We've done 15 points now, and we've got to set the players targets. When you come from -5, when we sat at the start of the season, we agreed that we had to set the players and continually set them targets, because it's unusual, it's unique. You're coming from way off, but the reality is, if somebody had told us there's only one team, Spartans, have got more points than us in the first quarter, and we've come away from home, and I think, I'm not sure, but I think that's 11 points out of 15 away from home. But there's things we've got to improve. We know we've got to improve our home form. We know we've got to come in and look at the next quarter differently than we did in the first, because the first was about getting 5 points back, and we've did that. So now we're a point off the playoffs. We've got a point more than gained in Spartans today. So when we come in on Tuesday night, we've got a meeting on Tuesday night with all the players to look at the next quarter and what that looks like. But Scott Honeyman's been a massive part of that. It's been a massive part of that. His goals, his assists, getting in the box. And listen, he's a great young player. We've given him a platform and an opportunity that he's possibly not had, and he's really enjoying it.
And you spoke about that quarter a lot in this, the first quarter. A lot of people are talking about how ninth would be great coming in. Does your aims for the season change as your form improves at the start of the season?
Well, I think that's just human nature. I don't blame MD for that. I don't blame fans for that either. I think if you'd said to the fans at the start of the season, 9th position, I think every one of them would bit your hand off. I think when they've seen the start that we've had in the first quarter we've had, they're probably looking at us now a point off for the playoffs. Can we get in the playoffs? As I've said previously, I've worked in League 2 4 times. Once was in Ram, 3 times with Dumbarton. I've never been out the promotion playoffs. So we think that we can get in the promotion playoffs at least. We absolutely do. We're a point behind that. We're a point off it. We'll put ourselves in a great position. And our meeting them Tuesday night with the players is about analysing that first quarter. Good, bad and indifferent, what we can really improve on. And then more importantly, looking at this second quarter and how we can go and get after more points.
And I know you usually say it's the same for both teams, but especially today, do you think the conditions played a part in it and maybe not being able to play the exact style of football you wanted to play?
Jack, I'll be honest with you, I didn't realise how bad it was until I went onto the centre pitch. Actually here it wasn't too bad. I'm sure it was probably the same for both sets of fans watching it, but when I went on to shake the referee's hand, it was just swelling. It was constantly swelling, because I was actually concerned that balls were staying in the air with our centre backs in the second half, but I could see why. It was really bad. But the reality is, we've came here, we've picked up a point away from home. It's a solid point, and we get down the road and we now get in Tuesday, Thursday, and ahead of the TV game next Saturday.
And now we've touched on a lot of positives, some of the negatives. First of all, Vinny, obviously we mentioned he wasn't feeling too well. How did you feel the defence did without his leadership at the back there?
Listen, I think Kelly said one save to make in the full game. He's picked the ball out of the net first half for their first shot, and then second half he's picked a penalty at the back of the net. The penalties are I think that's 7. We're I said it off camera here, we're losing a penalty in every possible way we can. Scoop's adamant to get pushed just under the ball, but ultimately that's just the way it's going for us now with these penalties. But the reaction to the penalty and getting down 2-1, as I said earlier, was really, really good.
And you mentioned last week that you don't really know what you can do other than maybe not mention it. How do we tackle these penalties going forward?
Well, listen, you've got it. Everybody will say you can do something about everything, and I get that because it's easy to say that, but look, today's penalty, and what do you do? How do you coach that? How do you coach balls in the box where Morgan Neal and Vinny and Azza just love going to attack the ball? 9 times out of 10 they do, and he gets a wee nudge and it catches his hand. these things happen, Jack, and they won't last forever. They won't last forever, and that's what I've told the players in there. This wee period won't last forever. But while that's happening to us, we've lost 7 penalties in the first quarter. Do you know, I think we've lost 7 penalties in the first quarter, and we've still returned a decent quarter. So if we stop giving away penalties, then we're going to lose less goals, and ultimately, if we lose less goals, then we'll win more games.
I'm just looking ahead to the weekend. Obviously, Challenge Cup, it's a lot more games this year. What do you expect from a young team coming to the Rock? What can you expect to face?
Well, I think you know what you get with the B teams, and you know what you get particularly with the Old Firm B teams. You know their energy, their intensity. They're all technically very, very good. Rangers will be no different. It's on the TV, which is a wee bit different for us on a Saturday afternoon as well. So the players will come in Tuesday, Thursday. We'll pick a team on Saturday we believe can go and win the game, because that's the other thing that this quarter has brought as well. We'll probably more or less qualify for the next round of that cup as well. But we want to continue to pick up points in the cup, and next Saturday's no different.
I think Christian can give you any insight to some of the players obviously coming from Rangers before?
He can. You do that with all the loan players, to be fair, Jack. Do you know, I mean, you've got Tomo playing at Ware United, you've got Shea, who's played with St Mirren, you've got the 3 St Mirren kids who've been here, and obviously Webby. So we tap into them all. Today we tapped into the young striker that Stirling had for Rangers as well, and the young right back. Webby knew and knew them well. So we're always tapping into that information, and this week Webby could be number 1 scout rather than right back or right centre back.
And just finally, obviously in the other cup we've got Tayport, a junior team coming down. Do you know much about them? What are you expecting from them coming down in the Scottish?
They'll be watched 3 times. Do you know, that's the respect that we'll give them. We don't know a lot about them because they don't play in our leagues, but ultimately, do you know, there has been many a banana skin in the Scottish Cup, many with bigger clubs in Dumbarton, with the greatest respect. So we must make sure that we are absolutely prepared the best we possibly can when that game comes around, and we will be, and we make sure that we're professional as we possibly can, and we'll have to be if we're going to make sure there's no banana skin against us.
Cheers, Gaffer.